Hi there, I am Jennifer the Divine Levine and I am back. I fixed my phone. I am ready to make videos again. Praise Jesus, right? So, on my COVID-19 vacation, here we go. So, it's not a COVID-19 vacation if you don't bake something. So, we are going to be making some spice cupcakes and some spice cake chips. Now, the reason I'm making two versions of this is because one is raw and the other is not raw. However, I may need to add some maple syrup and that will make it not strictly raw, but hopefully I won't. Okay, so we're gonna talk about what we have in our bowls here. And let's see, I think I have this written down right here. Okay. So in this bowl here, we have our liquid ingredients. And the way I made these was I took 1 tablespoon of hemp. I took half a cup of frozen pineapple and 2 large dates. Now, if your dates are small, you would want to double the dates because there's the medjool dates. I use medjool dates, and then there's the deglet nors. The deglet nors are about half the size. And then I blended that with a cup of water. And the other thing about that too, ooh, whoops. The other thing about that too is the blender. Now, some of you may have high-speed blenders. It's not going to take you that long to blend it. But I will tell you this. I was using just a regular Oster blender and it blended up perfectly, but it took a little bit of extra time to blend. So you have to keep checking to make sure that the dates have blended completely. But I blended them completely, so they're blended. They're blended. Yay! Okay. Oh, I also added some vanilla to that. Let's see, how much vanilla did I add? Vanilla. Oh, I added a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. So let's move on to our dry ingredients, where we have 1.5 cups of oat flour, we have half a teaspoon of baking soda, and we have 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I also added 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a scant 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. So that is what we have in our dry ingredients. Whoops. See, every time I pick it up and set it down, I gotta readjust. All right, so good, we got that done. All right, so the other thing we have is we have the flax egg right here, which is gelling up nicely. I'll just stir that around. Ooh, nice and gelled. Here we go. Let me put the camera down so you can see the flax egg. Okay, so when you make a flax egg, it is typically 1 tablespoon of flax and 3 tablespoons of water. And in this recipe, we're using 1.5 tablespoons, not teaspoons, but 1.5 tablespoons. So that would be 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon plus 1/2 teaspoon. And then we add the appropriate amount of water to that. So with a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, good. We have our flax. Now what we're going to do is we are going to blend our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. And I seem to have forgotten my spatula. Okay, here's my spatula. And maybe I'll use a fork, because the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that the dry ingredients are nicely blended. Alrighty, so we're getting these dry ingredients nicely blended up, all those spices and oh, I forgot to talk about the oat flour. Did I talk about the oat flour? This is 1.5 cups of oat flour. Okay, sorry about that. So 1.5 cups of oat flour and the 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, we'll get that mixed up nicely with the fork. So that's all blended. If you wanted to make it softer. You could sift it, but oh my goodness, who has time to sift? And who wants to sift? I don't want to sift. So I'm not sifting. I am not sifting. All right, so we have that. And then the next thing we're going to add is our liquid ingredients. And let's add this in here. So this is the water mixed with the dates and the pineapple, the vanilla, and what else? What am I missing here? Oh, and the hemp seeds. The hemp seeds kind of make it like it's a milk. Okay, so we're just gonna stir this around in here. And let's see. Yeah, let's get this stirred. There we go. Stirring it nicely. Oh, what a happy cake batter this is. This cake batter looks a bit runny. Looks very, very runny. But I think that once we put the flaxseed in, it's going to gel up a little bit more. So let me put this camera down. There we go. And yeah, just stir, keep stirring. Okay, so while I was off camera, I made some cauliflower pizza crust. It turned out awful. Sorry, it just did. And I kind of thought, my God, you know, I should just make flaxseed crackers for pizza crust. It's just easier. Because cauliflower, first of all, for what it is, it's a little pricey. I mean, especially if you buy the riced kind, which I did because I don't have a food processor and I didn't feel like, you know, chopping up the head of cauliflower. Very, very small, then putting it in the blender, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is looking a bit more like cake batter. It's still a bit runny. And what the flax is going to do is it's going to help it gel up a little bit. So let me put this aside. And so here's our flax right here. I'm pouring the flax. There we go. Getting that flax in there. Okay, now if this batter is still runny, I'm going to add more flour to it. I mean, you know, you got to do what you can, but you know what? This is looking very cupcakey. Very, very cupcakey. All right, now the other concern that I have, since this is a recipe, I loosely base this recipe on a video that I saw today, and the video is from the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, and it was for something called hummingbird cake. So I have changed this significantly. First of all, oh, you know what I'm forgetting? The mashed banana. But you know what? I don't think this needs mashed banana. I mean, it looks like it's the perfect consistency. It'd be just a pineapple cake. Let me taste. It's very spicy. It's not quite sweet enough. I think we're gonna add the banana. Yeah, we're gonna add that banana. We're gonna get ourselves a banana. Nice big banana. And we're gonna mash it. And that was another thing she talked about. She talked about how important it is to mash your banana. Do not blend your banana in the blender to make it mushy. No, 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 no. Last thing you want to do, because apparently that makes the batter tough. I'm just going to mash this up like so. Getting this banana mashed. Bananas are so great. Today for lunch, after my salad, because I had an excess of strawberries, I had strawberry and banana, and the banana was not quite frozen yet, but that's okay. What I like to do is I like to freeze bananas, and big ones like these, you can eat just half of them in a serving. So I kind of break them in half, and then I freeze the little banana halves, and then I just eat them. So the other day I was wearing a glove because I hurt my thumb, and so I just ate the banana with this hand because it had a glove on it. That was just simple. And then the other thing I do is I just put the banana in a napkin, and I at the end I kind of peel the napkin off the banana, so it works. Okay, so now we have, got some mashed bananas scraping. Let's see, here's our mashed banana. And this looks like it's about 3/4 of a cup of banana, but we'll see. Okay, so now we're going to mix this up with our fork. And I think this is probably going to be what puts us over the top in sweetness. If this is not sweet enough, I am going to have to add some maple syrup to this because I am not blending any more dates. I'll tell you what, I already washed that blender. So I am not making, I am not going to blend up any more dates. And next time when I make this, I'll just use more dates. So, you know. I mean, the thing is too, is that this is basically cake. And, you know, even though it's vegan, even though it's healthier than a regular cake, it's not something you want to be, you know, scarfing down day and night all the time, because, you know, it's still got some oat flour in it. It's still got the sweetness from the fruit. So it's, you know, it's going to affect your blood sugar if you have a problem with that, because it will, you know, I mean, there's not a whole lot of fat in this cake. Okay, the only fat we have comes from the chia, not the chia seed, not chia, but hemp, the hemp seed, and there's only a tablespoon of that in here. So this cake does not have a whole lot of fat in it. All right, so it's, because fat will slow down the, you know what? I'm not sure, I'm thinking, let me see, let me taste. Oh, you know what it's missing? It's missing some salt. That's the problem. It needs a little salt. Because you need that contrast of salt to sugar. So we're going to add a little bit of my pink salt, which I keep in this repurposed tahini jar from Trader Joe's. So this is about, I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'll just throw that in there. And then we'll mix it in. Oh my goodness, it's tasting so flat. Although there is a little salt in this already, but okay. Apparently not enough salt. Okay, so that's one of the tricks of baking, is you need salt to make sweet things taste good. Needs more salt. Dog in heaven. Okay. Try another 1/4 teaspoon. Let's get this going. All right. Alrighty. And now we will drip it onto my hand and taste it. I think it needs a little more sweet. So I'm just going to add a little maple syrup. Mea culpa, mea culpa. I think we will start with a tablespoon of maple syrup. And that should get us where we need to go. Okay, here we go. Got our tablespoon right here. Okay. Tablespoon in. Now, oh God, where do I stick this? Okay, stick it in the measuring cup. All right, now, God, there's so much batter in this other bowl. Let's put this back in here. Okay. Now, let's mix this up. This should be perfect. If this isn't perfect, we're gonna add more cinnamon. We need to have like a rich spice cake taste here. Okay, let's give this a taste. Put it on my hand. Oh yeah, yep, that's perfect. Oh my goodness, dog in heaven. If you guys could taste this, you'd be like, oh my God, this is so delicious. All right, so next step is, there's 2 steps actually. because I said we were going to make some raw cake chips. So I'm just going to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a spoon because, or 2 spoons. Of course, I have no spoons. It's not always the way. I'm always out of spoons. One of these days, somebody's going to send me a whole bunch of spoons, and I'll be like, oh my goodness, spoons! Thank you, Jesus! Or thank you, whoever it is to send them. Okay. So, I have a method for getting the cake batter into the cupcakes. Okay. So, let me just adjust the camera so everybody can see. Let's see if this will work. I'll move this back a little bit. All right, come on. All right, good. So now we can see the cupcake pan. All right, so I'm gonna take a spoonful of batter with one, and then with the other one, I'm gonna kind of catch the drippings. Okay, this is probably better done with bigger spoons, but I have a real shortage of big spoons, so sadness. Okay, so we're just gonna scrape this into the tin like so. Let's see, here's 2. And let's see, let's get 3 in here. And then 4. Okay. And 5. Okay, so what I've done here is, as you can see, my cupcake, let me just move this so you can see. So the cupcake, it's not quite full, and so when it rises, it's probably not going to come up too much over the paper, which is what we want. Some people like to have like the overflowing cupcake, but I don't care for that because it makes a mess. So we have that, and I'll do these off camera because you watch me fill one, that's fine. And now what we're gonna do is we are going to put some on a dehydrator sheet, and we're gonna dehydrate. So I'm thinking to myself, this is gonna be a very, very thin layer. So I'm gonna take, I'm just gonna take this 1/4 cup that I used for the flour. I'm just gonna take about half of this from the batter. I'm just going to stick it on the sheet, and then we're just going to spread it. Oh, you know what? We could probably do a full 1/4 cup on here. Okay, there we go. Spread it on the sheet with the spatula. In fact, we probably don't even need to use a spatula. I can just kind of go like this, just moving the paper like so. And this is going to give me, this is going to be almost so much easier than using the spatula. That way I don't get my spatula dirty, although it is going to get dirty. I know it is. Okay, so I've got, looks like, here we go, getting this on the sheet. There we go. All right, so this is one layer. I'm just gonna kind of move this so everything is even. Oh, look at that. I think I do need to use a spatula. Okay, use a spatula. Very, very, very gently. Probably I would probably be better off if I had an offset spatula, but I do not. Okay, this is very, very thin layer. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the dehydrator. I'm gonna fill up my cupcakes. And this is probably the one that I'm going to eat. And then the cupcakes will be for everybody else because I'm trying to stay raw this summer. So I guess that's all the news that's fit to print, or all I wanted to say today. I'm just so excited to be back on the air, as they say. Alrighty, well, I hope everybody is enjoying their COVID-19 vacation. And we will see you back here next time. Bye.